everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. So happy that you all tuned in today. We're breaking down all the sports news, the craziest stories, all the updates that you need to know. And we do that every day. So make sure you subscribe to the Fumble, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, chime in the chat, and share it with your friends. And now I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
And I'm Britt Johnson. You can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson.
All right, so I see you guys in the chat saying that we need to talk about Earl Thomas, and don't you worry, we are talking about Earl Thomas. It is a hot mess of a story. We're also talking about some rumors that we've heard about Odell, although I have my doubts about that. Getting into some news about who the Golden State Warriors have had their eye on, as well as some coronavirus updates and how it is affecting the NBA and the MLB. Chris, what's coming up for you in social?
Got some crazy response from Jason Whitlock talking about LeBron James's tweet going out to Ahmaud Arbery yesterday. We're going to talk about that. Mike Tyson, we might be seeing him fight again soon, so curious to hear your guys' opinions on that possible fight. We have a bet that wasn't a bet, but almost was a bet between CJ McCollum and Lou Williams about Jackie's favorite team, the Browns. And we got some parenting advice from Stephen Curry and Aisha Curry coming up on Post Up.
Okay, and Jackie, what are some weird hints you can drop about WTF?
The thumbnail. That's my hint. It's all about the thumbnail.
And Britt, hints you want to give us about Britt's takes?
2 days in a row, we are talking about football. So I have some NFL stuff coming to you, some news. So stay tuned for that in Britt's Takes.
Awesome. Okay, well, we have a pretty full, there's like a lot of details that I have to tell you guys about this Earl Thomas story, so I'm going to jump right in. So he posted a cryptic video of himself on Instagram discussing how TMZ was about to publish an article about an altercation that he had with his wife. We have a clip for you that we're going to play right now just so you can see the gist of what he was talking about. Leo, can you throw that up there?
So my agent just hit me and said that I'm going to be on TMZ tomorrow from an altercation that happened with me and Nina. So just wanted to get ahead of it, and I mean, it's really not anybody's business. It's pissing me off that it got out, but it's the world we live in today.
Okay, so I don't blame him for being annoyed that the story got out because it's pretty crazy. And they did release an article. It's all over TMZ. So basically, Earl and his wife Nina got into a fight on April 13th about his excessive drinking. So in the heat of the moment, he left. His brother came and picked him up, and they drove off somewhere. Then she decided to go log into his Snapchat. I'm not sure. I guess she has the password, or maybe he left his phone. No, he didn't leave his phone behind, but she logged into his Snapchat to figure out where his location was, and there was a video of him on his Snapchat with another woman. So she called up her girlfriends, grabbed his 9mm pistol, and drove over to their location. She burst into the house, and this is the strangest part, I think. She found Seth and Earl naked in bed with other women, basically having an orgy. These guys are brothers having an orgy together. I guess that's what they like to do. She went nuts, as any wife would, seeing her husband in a compromising situation like that. But she got that gun, put it within a foot of his face. Says she didn't realize it was fully loaded, but she easily could have just shot him in the head, which is really scary. The friend that she was with was also brandishing a knife around. The mistresses that were there got footage of the entire thing, and the police were called. She was arrested for burglary with the intent to commit a crime with a deadly weapon, and an emergency protective order was placed that forced her to stay 200 yards away from Earl and the mistress. But in his Instagram video, he says that they're working through things, they're together again. I personally don't know how you get past a crazy fight like that. I think that would be something that's very difficult for me personally to move on from. But Britt, I see you making that money sign over there. So what are your thoughts about this hot mess of a situation?
The first thing that kind of came to mind actually was rest in peace, Steve McNair, and his situation when he was like his mistress ended up shooting and killing him and then killing herself. And that's just one of several NFL situations that happened that involved a gun where somebody ends up getting shot and killed. So I'm glad it didn't go that route to where it went to that extent where anybody died or anything. But I'm not really into talking about what's happening in people's bedrooms. That's their business. I don't care if the brother hanging out with his brother and having an orgy and they're all naked in the bed, that's your business. But I just think if you're going to stay with them, then I guess the mistress girl or the side chicks or whatever are the ones that probably put the business out there. I don't think Nina said anything about it. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting. They're going to still stay together. So I don't even really want to say much about it. They're going to be together. It's going to continue on. It's going to be washed under the rug as something because she doesn't care about him. She's going to stay with him and that's her prerogative. So I guess if she's happy with that relationship, then here's to them. I don't know what else to say. Like, I can't fight for her to want to leave and not be in a situation like that. She wants to stay and she's going to stay, and it is what it is. But
it's just crazy because
money.
Yeah, it has to be because on both sides here, there were just two really major things that happened. First of all, he cheated. She put a gun in his face. I mean, it's just like both sides. It's just absolutely outrageous. Jackie, so do you feel like this marriage can survive this kind of thing, or is this always going to be an underlying problem, kind of a violent outburst and cheating?
I'm trying to find the right words. So, because Arthur and I talked about this yesterday, and I told her, I said, I've planned several murders in my day. Just the thought of prison is what has kept people safe. You know what I mean? So there's nothing about this story to me that seems odd. I'm like, yeah, girl, let's ride out. One of my girls call me right now. We rolling. But I'm a big fan of gun safety. And I've always been taught you don't pull a gun unless you intend to use it. And on top of that, you always check the chamber. In her defense, she said that she thought she pulled the clip out, which apparently that's on the video that there was no clip in it, but gun safety says you always check the chamber. So even if she had been playing, this could have been, an entirely different situation. So, nothing about this situation aside from the brothers being naked together seemed truly odd to me. But I would have, I'm at the point in my life that if I need to know how Snapchat told her where they were, that's number one. That threw me off. Like, is Snapchat giving locations? Because how
they do have your geo thingy that you can have up, and it when it lets your friends know where you are. Yeah. So
but is it giving exact locations? Because I know it gives you the vicinity, but is it giving you the exact? See, I'm turning my.
But how does that work?
Phone, Find My iPhone or something.
My thing is just how does that work with if she went on his phone? How does that tracking him when you're on his phone? I don't understand that part.
Devin clearly has the answer.
She's not on his phone. She's on his account.
So she logged into his account. So Snapchat has that map function, and you can either turn it off or on. Some people leave it on. I think that's crazy. Right. I don't know why you'd ever want to leave your location on Snapchat, but you can always see where you are if you're logged into your account. So all she had to do was log in to his little icon on the map. And I think it is like what Britt said, find my iPhone. So all she had to do was see that he's at the cross streets of this and this, probably saw Seth's car outside and went right in.
Yeah, because that's how they come up with the geotag to be like, oh, I'm at this restaurant, or when it comes and it shows oh, I'm at Soho House or whatever. It literally does a pretty close vicinity of where you actually are.
Well, I'm uninstalling Snapchat right now. I'm uninstalling that. If y'all see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm uninstalling Snapchat because that trolled me a lot. And then to Britt's point about, them being together, I'm just different. If I would have saw that on Snapchat, I'd have called in an attorney and I would be hitting his pockets immediately. I'm not even going to get into this physicality of it. And at this point, she could literally, I don't know what the burglary charge is unless they're saying, oh, she was trying to steal her man back. But I mean, because that's not what she went there for. Right. But I think she's looking at some time, you know what I mean? Just because the whole thing's on video. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how this relationship's going to go. I think they might be separated by prison walls in a minute, but it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But ladies, if you ever get to this point, DM me. I'll talk you off the ledge. I'll give you a better plan. I promise.
Well, the funny thing is, one of my guy friends told a crazy story of he plays in the league, and he was saying it about one of his teammates. I'm not going to say who it was, but it was a guy that was playing on the Lakers, and his girl basically found out that he was like cheating. I don't know how. Like I think he was in the background of somebody's video on Instagram at like a club, and he was like booed up with some girl. His girlfriend sees it. She uses his money, gets a $12,000 private jet, gets all her girls in the jet, flies, because it was an away game. So she flies on the jet to like the city that he's in, and literally goes, it's his wife, so she can go up to his room, and she knows they always have like fake aliases for their names at the hotels, but she knows what hotel, goes into the room and like busts him with like these girls and stuff in his room, but they still stayed married. But like, you literally just got on a jet, $10,000 or $12,000, flies out, and I'm just like, what is the point of you doing that if you're going to continue to stay with him anyway? Like you caught him red-handed, and you decide to stay with him. So like at that point, like what is the point if you're not going to then leave the person? Like you're just ruffling the feathers for no reason. Like you might as well just keep it in your like Rolodex of things, and then whenever you decide to divorce him, then bring out all the checklists of stuff that happened. But like, what's the point of like doing all of this if you're going to stay with the man anyway? Like, why bring a gun, try to shoot him, but then now you guys are like back together, like low key and working things out? What is the point of that? I just don't get it.
Yeah,
my favorite comment from Earl was,
sorry, Jackie, go.
In Earl's video, my favorite comment from him was, "These things happen." I'm like, no,
I know. I'm like,
they don't.
did say
They've
that.
never been butt
First thing that's happened.
Right. I don't know anybody else in my family who's been butt naked with their brother in bed having an orgy. That these things don't just happen.
Chris, you've heard from all the ladies on the panel. Now, the question that I have for you is, the way that Earl went ahead and posted this video before the TMZ article was published, was that a smart move? Is this something that you think more athletes should do when they know their dirty laundry is going to be aired all over the internet by a publication?
In some cases, yeah. I just don't understand how this one would be smart, because what came from it other than him saying what we already knew? I mean, other than him talking about that they're still working it out, I guess that's probably the only. I don't know. This whole thing to me is just crazy. But like Jackie and Britt both said, like this could have been really bad, but then it wasn't, and it got really weird. But as far as posting before the news comes out, I'm sure in a lot of instances, yes, I think that would probably be the best way to handle it. You know, nip it on the bud, say like, yo, this is about to come out. You're going to see a video of me running down the street naked. I apologize. It was 2 months ago. Somebody got a video of it and they gave the TMZ. Like, you know, it's just like that. Sure. This one, I don't know if this does anything towards what is going to happen between the two of them. I don't know if this changes anything because he said something about it. There's still probably going to be some time face, like Jackie said. There's still going to be a whole, I don't know. But yes, I think in some instances, yes, I think it's a good deal. This one, I don't see what it changes, to be honest.
All right. I thought it was kind of a good move on his part to just be like, look, I know it's coming out. I think it probably made him feel better to not appear like it caught him by surprise, I guess, in a way. And he took control of his drama, but I don't know. It may not work in every situation. Somebody else has a little bit of drama, and I'm going to get into it right now. Odell Beckham Jr. So we've all seen those workout montages that he's been posting all over Instagram. They've been featured in the Post Up quite a few times. He's been saying that, you know, next season is his season. He's working out really hard. I mean, he looks like he's doing pretty well, but apparently somebody went to his house and told Hollywood Unlocked that he had a party there with a bunch of people, and there were party favors that were little bits of like cocaine and Xanax and Percocets and other drugs. The person said OBJ was definitely off the coke and Xans. He mentioned his sleep issues and was pretty drunk that night, even though we only drank wine from his cellar. Now this quote I don't really understand, because you can get super drunk off of wine. It's not like it's going to get you less drunk than other things if you have enough of it. So I don't know why he said
I
it like
know
that.
that from facts. I did research.
Britt has done
So
her
That's a true
own
statement.
personal research. Yeah, so I don't know why he said that, like as if he wasn't going to be drunk from wine. But he basically also said that Odell has a huge drug problem, and then used this video that I'm about to show you as proof that he was doing cocaine. But to me, it's not really proof at all. So Leo, can you throw that up there for us? There's a big sniff
What am
in
I
there
looking at
that
here?
this person. What was that?
What is? That's what I was asking. I was like, what is the? How's that prove anything?
I know, it doesn't prove anything at all. He could have eaten something really spicy. He could have a cold. I mean, it could have been anything. Allergies. Like, I don't think this is proof of anything. But this person swears that they were just throwing around the Zans and the perks and doing a bunch of coke. I don't know, you guys. It seems kind of silly to me. Chris, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that he really was doing drugs, even though he's working out so hard and preparing for the upcoming season?
This dude just cannot catch a break. I'm sorry. Like it is one thing after another when it comes to witch hunts. When it comes to Odell Beckham Jr. Unfortunately, I feel like you can still work out while dipping in the booger sugar. I think you can still ride. So I don't feel like that would affect that side of it. But to me, as far as just going off of that evidence that we were supposed to, that supposed evidence, that to me, that's not enough. I don't know. I feel like that's just somebody trying to get a scoop on Odell. I don't know. I'm not going to buy it off of just a possible sniff in the background. We also remember the whole situation with him and the girl from way back when, and people trying to put it on him. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like there's just always a witch hunt when it comes to Odell. So personally, just going off of just that evidence alone, I can't. That, to me, that's not enough.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like maybe he did have a party. Maybe they did have a bunch of drugs there. It doesn't necessarily mean he was doing them. Jackie, do you feel like it's a little bit surprising that he's spending so much time putting forth this image on social media, that he's getting his body right and gearing up for this great season, but then we hear this news that he really does have a huge drug problem?
I think if Odell had a huge drug problem, we would see evidence of that in some way. There would be slip-ups here and there. There would be weird behavior, things said that shouldn't have been said. If we didn't think that he had a drug problem in New York when his behavior was escalated, I never thought it was drug related, but I don't know. I don't know why we would think that now. And I just hate when people who are in the middle of situations says, "Oh, he did it." Well, what the hell was you doing there? So I don't buy any of this at all. And I have, I know Britt dug into the new agreement, and I know it hasn't gone into effect yet, but I'm pretty sure even if he did hard drugs right this second, that's not something that he would get kicked out of the league for. So why even put it out there? I'm a big fan of Odell. You guys know that. And so these little witch hunts that come for him just infuriate me. So I think that is exactly what this is. It's just a witch hunt to try to tarnish his name, but I don't think it's warranted at all.
Yeah. Britt, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I do kind of agree in that capacity. Everybody's always trying to bring the black brother down, once they're doing great. And he's been obviously working out really hard and stuff like that. Odell, I do have a message for you though. Stop having people like this around you, because this is not the first time we've heard, whether you do coke or not, that's whatever. You don't do it enough to where it's affecting you on the field. So to each his own. I don't think he's a cocaine head or whatever, but we already talked about the cocaine circus that went on with the Bulls, and then I talked about the Dallas Cowboys, and Michael Irvin was known for doing cocaine often as well. He is literally one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Again, not saying cocaine makes you a good player. I'm just saying that you could easily get through a career doing cocaine and nobody notice or not affect you on the field. Yep. So I'm not saying he is or isn't, but this isn't the first time we've heard about him using cocaine and having whatever situations around it. But my advice to you is to stop having people around you like that would be trying to put your business out there. That's just crazy. Mm-hmm. You're literally bringing people into your home that are trying to get the scoop on you and sell stories to different entertainment companies or whatever the case is. And I think you just need to start watching a little bit more the people that you have in your circle and that are around you, because they haven't been very good for you. I don't know if you are doing drugs or not, but we shouldn't, especially during this quarantine time, and especially when it's supposed to be inside your home, we shouldn't be even hearing stories like this at all. So check your circle, my guy.
Yeah, he's definitely someone that should keep his circle small, considering he does seem to have a target on his back. Let's get into the Golden State Warriors and the person they've been eyeing apparently for years. So they have been preparing to land Giannis via trade or free agency for a very long time. The San Francisco Chronicle said that the delayed season could actually help them in their quest to sign Giannis. They said, quote, though all indications are that he's on good terms with team management, league sources believe that he would want out of Milwaukee if he loses confidence in the franchise's ability to win championships. This is why the NBA shutdown could buoy the Warriors' chances of landing their long-coveted Greek. So Giannis is under contract with Milwaukee until the 2020 to 2021 season, but if he doesn't sign a long-term extension during the off-season, they might have to explore these trade options to avoid the potential of losing him in the open market. And then if the Warriors were able to land Giannis, as they're apparently trying to, they'd actually end up probably becoming, back at the top of the league, considering Steph will be back, Clay will be back, and then they'll have that other, powerhouse player in Giannis. So Chris, do you see this happening? Do you believe this?
Absolutely not. I never will believe it. The only part of this report that I do believe is the part where he feels like the organization is not doing anything to help the team stay relevant and stay a championship contender. I believe that. If that is the case, I believe him walking if that happens. I don't think it will happen. But I also just, even if that does happen, I don't think it's going to be Golden State. This seems so crazy to me. It makes too much sense for conspiracy theorists. Like, you're putting all the right things together, so, it all adds up. I get it. But it will have to happen for me to finally say, oh, okay, I guess you're right. I'm never going to buy it. I'm not believing it. It doesn't go.
Okay, well, Jackie, really quickly, do you feel like he would fit in on the Warriors, or you are with Chris and just don't even see it happening at all? Don't think he'd be a good fit?
I'm with Chris in that I don't see it happening, but I think if it did happen, I think he would fit fantastically in Golden State. I think it would be, I think he would get along great with everybody. He's got that personality that he's an easygoing guy and he's a beast on the court. That's exactly what would fit in Golden State. It wouldn't be a Kevin Durant situation where, he needs to be the end all be all and just bounce, as soon as he gets what he wants out of the organization. I think it would be a long-term good fit. I don't see it happening. I think Milwaukee's going to do whatever they need to do to make sure it doesn't.
I agree. Okay, quickly getting into my final need to know news story. It's all about the coronavirus. The NBA is reportedly planning on opening practice facilities in states where it is permitted starting on Friday. We did talk about this a little bit, how they were planning on opening those facilities last week, but I don't think we had a specific date in mind. But apparently it's happening this Friday. They're going to be putting rules in place that prohibit players and staff from being closer than 12 feet apart during strength and conditioning activities. A memo from the NBA also says that there will be no more than 4 players permitted at a facility at one time. No head or assistant coaches could participate. There will be no group activities, and players are prohibited from using other public health clubs and fitness centers. So they're still kind of regulating it pretty heavily. An overwhelming majority of the high-level officials in the NBA are feeling optimistic that the season could return, and the idea of playing in Florida, as we've talked about on this show before, is gaining momentum. So that's very exciting. For the Lakers, their practice facility will likely reopen in 1 week, so not this Friday, once the stay-home order is lifted here in California. Frank Vogel did say that they'll open the facilities when it's safe and appropriate to do so, so there could be some delays. He's preparing for it and preparing the fans for it, but it's good to know that it's on the radar. And then now moving into MLB, they're also reportedly finalizing a proposal to state the season, or to start the season in early July after the coronavirus shutdown. Rumor says that spring training too will start on June 10th, and then July 1st will be opening day, and every team will be playing at their home ballparks, so not in Arizona as we previously discussed. The players objected to that idea because they didn't want to be away from their families and friends for that long, and I get that. And then there was the plan of the 3 10-team division separated into geographical locations, and that still seems to be plausible. There's also a proposal for teams to hold their spring training in their home cities instead of returning to those Arizona or Florida sites. So things are looking good. Nothing's finalized. Nothing's really set in stone yet. But, I guess the only question that I have for you guys, and Jackie, I'll ask you, does it make you feel optimistic about the future of basketball and baseball?
Ask Britt about baseball. I'm not a big baseball fan, but yeah, it definitely makes me feel optimistic. I mean, technically, though, if baseball was the only sport that came back, I would actually be watching that because I'm just so desperate for something right now. But yeah, I'm definitely optimistic and I'm excited, and I just cannot wait until something is set in stone. And I definitely respect and understand why they're being cautious, and because you definitely want to consider player safety. So I respect that. I'm just ready to get past that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. Okay, well, that wraps up Need to Know News. So Chris, take it to social.
Yes. Welcome back to Post Up with your boy, Chris, Quarantine Edition. Now, guys, you know what it is? This is where we deep dive on all the social media surrounding our favorite athletes or not so favorite athletes. And that makes sense because the first one is going to one of my least favorite people on TV, and that is Jason Whitlock. And apparently his comments is not helping him make many fans. Now, unfortunately, a few months ago, and to me, what's unfortunate is the fact that it's only now becoming a little bit bigger. There was a video that went viral 2 days ago where Ahmaud Arbery was hunted and killed by 2 males in Georgia. I would say their names, but this isn't my platform, so I will just leave it at that. LeBron James said his piece on Twitter, talking about, the fear amongst. He said black males. I just think black people, just people of color in general, the fear of, just living, once you're outside of your comfort zone, which is your home, your personal space, you go outside and it's just, you never know what's going to happen out there. And this should be no shock to anybody in 2020 because this has just been going on for way too long. It was, to me, I saw nothing wrong with the post by LeBron James, but Jason Whitlock, he had a very interesting take on LeBron James's Twitter post. I'm going to read it first before we go to the panel. This was Whitlock's post. He said, "This isn't helpful. It's Twitter trolling. It's using this man's tragedy to build as more outspoken than Michael Jordan. There are all kinds of ways to draw attention to this tragedy. Suggesting that we are hunted every day, every time is just shit steering." I want to play devil's advocate to see what he's trying to get at, but I can't because it's really hard to even remotely turn this into a Michael Jordan versus LeBron James debate when that has nothing to do with what the main point is that LeBron James was putting up. Now, I understand the arguments a lot of people that were frustrated with LeBron James talking about, well, I mean, it's different for us because we're out here compared to you. You're a millionaire that lives in this mansion, Like, I'll understand those. But the point of the matter is that it's just a different way of life right now. And we've gone months where nothing has happened to either of these men that you can barely call them men that went out and killed Ahmaud Arbery, and here we are talking about it in May and nothing has happened, and now Georgia is looking to open back up this case to try to find the people or get the 2 guys that we know killed them. But for Whitlock to turn this into a Michael Jordan versus LeBron James debate, Jackie, I want to go to you first. I feel like it's a stupid question to ask if this comment was out of pocket, but what were your initial thoughts when you saw the response by Jason Whitlock to LeBron James?
My initial response was I took a beat and I tried to think of if there's anyone on the planet that I loathe more than Jason Whitlock. And at this point, I haven't come up with anyone. And it's because his statements are so damaging. His statements, and this isn't the first time.
Every
so
time.
I wasn't
Every time.
surprised
Yeah,
by,
exactly.
right. I wasn't surprised by his comments at all, because he is notoriously, if he wasn't black, I would call him the most racist person on the planet. You know what I mean? Because he notoriously tries to paint us in a negative light, which is a level of self-hate that I can't even describe. And the interesting thing is, when I was on the Fox Soul show, there was a gentleman on that show that works with Jason Whitlock. And I flat out asked him, like, how do you go to work with this man day in, day out? And he says these outlandish things. And he says he's one of the most pro-black people. And I'm like, what?
I knew it. See, that's
What?
I don't.
I am troubled by this, because here's the thing. There's no room for error, in my opinion, in this situation. And you guys know I say this day in and day out. Black people as a whole, we need to find a way to stick together, because these are the kind of things that we are up against. Clearly, this man was hunted. Clearly, they gunned him down specifically because he was black. And for you to say that he was taking this moment to try to be more outspoken than Michael Jordan, nobody's talking about Michael damn Jordan. This man lost his life simply because he was black. This has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. This has nothing to do with LeBron, except that LeBron has taken his platform and his voice, and he knows that people actually listen to him, and he chose to say something. If Michael Jordan never said anything, we wouldn't have thought about that in that capacity, because what's tragic is this death, and it happened, and these people are going to get away with it again. So the fact that we're not even talking about that is, well, not obviously we are, but Jason Whitlock continues to take this path that says, hey, we're not hunted. Things are great for us. And life is just peachy king, is just the most loathsome thing that I could. And I hate that he has a job. And I don't wish that on anybody, but I hate that Jason Whitlock has a job.
He has his own show.
I do.
Yeah, man.
I hate that.
Yeah. Britt, I want to relay the same question to you. And yeah, Jackie said it perfect. This is clearly nothing to do with Michael Jordan. If he had the opportunity to say something, would he say something? LeBron, that's clearly not the point. Do you also disagree with the fact that Jason Whitlock took the opportunity to turn this into a debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, when this is clearly a bigger issue than either of them?
Well, first I want to mention that you guys talk about Jason Whitlock having a job, and the fact that Jamil Hill doesn't have a job because she has been outspoken about
See, we forget
kind
that.
of a really crazy thing to me. But I want to take this tweet that Tariq Nasheed wrote, which I couldn't have said anything better myself. He said, let's be clear, Jason Whitlock of white supremacist executives at ESPN and Fox Sports who prop him up to be a professional punching bag. So when Jason parrots anti-black talking points for his bosses, they can use his tubby ass as a shield to hide from criticism of racism. So that's literally in a nutshell. And he's been that guy on several occasions. It's very sad that he always has to be the one that has something negative to say about black people. And then you see a guy like, what's his face? On First Take, not Stephen A. I can't think of his name right now. Max Kellerman. To see a guy like Max be so pro-black all the time, like he's always trying to come through and say like
rap lyrics and stuff,
and whatever the case is. And it's kind of like it's very discouraging to see a black person put down other black people so much. It's like disgusting to watch. Like, and nobody's in the whole Michael Jordan. I don't even know why you're bringing it up. Like that there's no comparison there. Literally everybody's been posting about this. Everybody's been saying stuff. Before the show came on, we were all talking about, we're all going to do the walk, jog, run tomorrow, which is 2.23 miles or whatever for Ahmad. So it's just like, I don't understand what the relevance of what he said is, but again, I'm used to this from him. Like he has been this guy from the beginning. Tariq Nasheed said it best, and I couldn't have said it better myself. People went in on him on Twitter, so nobody agrees with you. I don't know why you said this, because now people hate you even more than they already did. Not that we could, but in this guy, compared to somebody like Jamil Hill, who's always had an opinion on social justice stuff and stuff, why does he have a job and she doesn't? Because ESPN paid her out of her contract because she was being too political or talking about politics and social injustices on social media. And she lost her job because of it. But this man is literally talking about the same thing, but the opposite side of it, and he gets to keep his job. Like, that is the question we really need to be asking ourselves when it comes to this man. I'm sick of hearing about him. I don't think he should be on TV at all.
Amen, Britt. Amen. Tell him.
Devin, I gotta know. Seeing this, outside looking at when you're seeing the same, regardless whatever it's about basketball, people, you see this response, knowing that LeBron James, his comment was meant to, address the situation, like Jackie said, using his platform to address that situation, and you're seeing a response like this from somebody turning this into a sports debate. What were your thoughts seeing that?
I mean, I think it's asinine. I feel like he's trivializing everything that's happened by reducing it to LeBron's attempt to, show that he's more outspoken than Michael Jordan. I don't understand why he even has a problem with LeBron speaking out about it when we've seen celebrities, other top athletes, all posting about it, as we should. I mean, this is the type of thing that we need to pay attention to. And I applaud LeBron for posting about it. I thought that what he said was powerful. And for Jason Whitlock to attack him and say that he's just trying to prove his, place in the MJ versus LeBron debate, to me is just ridiculous. No respect for him. I just can't even wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, there you go, Jason Whitlock. You got some time on our show. Congratulations, buddy. Moving on to the next subject, talking about something. We're going a little bit more positive. We're bringing the positivity back here on Post. That was something that really irritated me, but this is something cool, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. But Mike Tyson, now we remember the video that was posted, I think it was last week, where his whole 53-year-old self was in I think it was his garage. I don't know where it was, but he was out there putting in that work on this man and this poor body. I'm like, he didn't have to take a break. Give him the punch, and my man walked away so fast before. Mike had one more swing, and he said, no, I gotta go. He was putting in the work. 53 years old, looking good with it. One more time, watch it. He, all right, I'm good. He walked away. See ya. Anyways, well, that video got him a $20 million deal. Allegedly, hopefully, we'll see. After that video was posted, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship reached out to Mike Tyson to get him to fight, to make a comeback fight in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship for $20 million. Now, this was posted a few hours today. There has been no response as of me saying this right now. I have to know. We have to know, because we were all excited. We were all like, yo, look at Mike Tyson when we saw it first come out last week. I have to know. Are we looking forward to some sort of any kind of match with him in a ring? Britt, I have to ask you first. Do you want to see 53-year-old Mike Tyson throwing down once again? Bare knuckle, whatever.
Yes, I do. I would love to see that. I actually, and he's been literally transforming his body. They did a side-by-side picture of him on ESPN. I probably should have just put this in to add it to it. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's from him last year at this time, and then this year at this time. He had a beer belly last year. He was a little chunky chunk. Now he has, he's cut up. He's ready to go. He's getting ready for something. I need to be on, whatever workout plan he's on, because he's been getting it in, and I would love to see any kind of fight with him in it. Don't be biting off anybody's ears again, Mike. Okay, my guy? Don't be doing that.
Keep that in the past.
I would love to see stuff like that, See him with another, old school fighter or something like that. I would love to see, a fight.
Facts.
Bare knuckle, my guy.
Gloves, bare knuckles. I don't care. Bring them back. I want to see him out there fight somebody. That'd be dope.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Next one. CJ McCollum. Look. He's been talking about it for some time now, so I'm going to give him his credit. I know the Browns are now supposed to be good, and now people are like, oh, all of a sudden he's going to talk about it. No, CJ McCollum has been a Browns fan even when they were bad. They used to troll him on social media because he's a very vocal guy in social media. But a lot of people last season, when the Browns were supposed to be good again, when they made the trade for Odell Beckham Jr., CJ, along with the rest of the world, thought that they were ready to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe not so much, but he was so confident that his team was going to at least go over 500 that he made a little bit of a loose bet with Clippers guard Lou Williams. Now, year we know what the actual result was from last season. They didn't quite make 500. So Lou Williams was saying that he owed him $5,000 because they made that bet. But CJ's like, yo, where's receipts? I thought it was just a conversation. I didn't know we actually made a bet. So then Lou Williams drops this tweet saying, nah, we never confirmed it. Nothing's owed. I didn't take the bet in a timely manner. Well, things have changed because CJ McCollum is doubling down. He said, bet. I was just making sure. The other tweet back. He said, bet. I was just making sure you want to double bet. What you want to double the bet for this year, 500 record, $10,000. And then they both agreed to it. And now it looks like the bet is for sure there. It's in writing. At least it was virtual. So we're looking forward to see that. But my favorite response was from his Blazer teammate, Yusuf Nurkic, who shout out to Michael Jordan. He put up this tweet saying, I guess they have competition problems. Hashtag the last dance, because, placing bets on stuff. I thought that was pretty funny. So, Jackie, I know you ain't got $10,000, so I'm not asking you to be part of this bet. But do you think CJ McCollum's going to be out of some money come the end of this next season?
Man, I low-key would take this bet just so I can have $10,000 because there's no way that he's going to win this bet. So, look, if
they just got to be 500, though.
Okay, and what were they last year?
Okay.
Were they like...
I can't fight you.
Yeah,
You're right.
So, yeah.
You're
so
right.
that part.
Right.
So yeah, no. And I get it. Technically, if I'm following my own words, this would be the year that they do get it because this is Baker Mayfield's make or break year. But I'm going to go with break and you make sure you pay that man.
Jackie.
Damn. Well, Lou Williams about to get some more money. There you go, Britt. That's good for you. Less money the Clippers got to pay him.
I think they can go 8-8. They were 6-10 last year. Come on, you don't think they can win 2 more games this year?
No.
All they got to do is go 8-8.
Oh my!
6-10 last year, and Baker had a bad season. So if he just does a little bit better, and they're going to be
7-9 this year. 7-9.
See, this is why we not the ones throwing around that $10,000. CJ, I hope you get your money because I'm hoping that the Browns get at least 8-8 this season. Moving on to some parenting tips from Steph and Ayesha Curry. Now we know that they are outnumbered because they are now parents of 3 children, and they posted this video to show how they're able to get a few seconds of break time. Here's that video.
This is what happens when you got 3 kids running around, and sometimes you just need a little break. We've been sitting on the stairs for a good 45 seconds before I realized 45
seconds?
Truth.
Woo!
All right, back to work.
Enjoying every second that he can and kept it on camera. I thought that was pretty funny. 45 seconds. Those kids ran them to their staircase. Shout out to the little Currys because they run the house now and enjoy that whole mansion, kids. Moving on to this last video. This video was actually pretty cool. Caron Butler, who was really close with Kobe Bryant and was also a one-time teammate for a few years, he said he found this video online, and it was a video of young high school Kobe tearing down the dance floor back at Lower Merion High School. Check out this video. I don't know what dance it was, but watch Kobe. Now this is young Kobe because look how quick he's moving. Like nothing in the knees. We all good, but it gets better. Look at him go.
Okay.
Look, and look how fast he get up here. Yes, it was a pager. It was definitely a pager. So
and look at the girl that's barefoot next to him. Stop it, girl. See? Stop.
Yeah. Right.
I can't wait to barefoot girl.
Lower Merion different, but yeah, man, he got it way too quick. That's how you know those young Kobe knees that we got to see. Pager and all, jorts hanging out. He's doing this thing. So shout out to Kobe. That was a cool video. But on that note, hand it over to you guys. I'm done.
All right, Jackie. We have really weird news to talk about today. So please take us into WTF. I'm dying to hear about it.
We do. Let me zoom through this first one because you guys in the chat have been asking for this second one. So this WTF moment, the first one is more like a, yeah, that sounds right moment to me because we're talking about good old Jay Cutler. Now, you guys know he's been fat shamed. We have teammates in Chicago that said they were ready for him to go. Stephen A has called him the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL. So nobody's really, troubled when they say nobody thinks Jay Cutler is that guy that's going to go out there and really get him. But apparently that go get him attitude is what's caused his divorce. So, according to page 6, Kristen, his wife, is seeking a divorce because she's getting tired of him laying around the house and being lazy. The article says, quote, she was growing increasingly impatient with him. He was supposed to take a big job at Fox Sports and have a life after football that would get him up and off of the couch. Instead, he backed out and went to Miami. That obviously didn't pan out, and he was left with no TV gig aside from a few appearances that he made on her show. She's not a fan of that. Devin, do you think that is a legit reason to get a divorce? That you marry? She had to know he was lazy when she married him. Do you get divorced now?
They were together for a very long time, and if she didn't realize that after like the first year or two of even just dating, that's her problem. But I think their divorce has more to do with his whole cheating scandal with her best friend. I don't follow their relationship, so I don't really know, but I think that's just an easy cover-up that he's lazy. So not a good reason to get divorced, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. If I'm going to put up with you being lazy, fat, and nasty, and you cheat on me with my best friend, I could see that. So you're probably right about that. All right, guys, let's move on to this one, because this is the one it seems you guys want to know about, because this one is like a true Machiavelli story, because we have, and I'm trying not to butcher his name, Hanik Kemba. He was a promising soccer player, and he was apparently killed in a car crash in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in 2016, making his wife a widow. She collected a life insurance policy that was worth 6-figure, but turns out he's alive and well. He has been working for a German energy company, a regular job, this whole time.
What?
And he told prosecutors, it's just a regular 9 to 5. He's been out there working a regular job. He says that his friends abandoned him, took all of his identification, his money, and his cell phone. And then when he went to the German embassy to try to kind of tell them, hey, no, I'm here, I'm alive, he didn't have any identification to prove it. So it just took this long for that to come through. My question is he's actually from the Dominican Republic of Congo, so he couldn't go to friends, family, and say, hey, guys, you got pictures of me so I can show these people who I am? No. And he didn't. Cell phone numbers, remember? You couldn't call your mom. You couldn't call teammates, coaches. You couldn't call anybody to help you through this situation. Right. But now his wife is under investigation because she produced death certificates, which they wouldn't have had because they didn't know who he was and there was no identification. So now she is being looked at for insurance fraud, and maybe his friend had something to do with that. So this whole situation to me is a little crazy. So Britt, I'm going to ask you, like, let's say you get lost in the Congo somewhere. You got my number, right? Maybe you don't have it memorized, but you can call me. I will help you prove who you are. You have people you can call, right?
There's somebody, like, I don't know a lot of people's numbers, but there are a couple numbers I know by heart. My grandma is one of them. Like, and if not, hello, there's the thing called the internet. Like, you can look up somebody, find them on Facebook. I remember one time I got lost in Vegas. My phone was gone. Like, I didn't have anything because I was like really drunk. I lost all my friends. I didn't know where to go. And I had to get on I asked the hotel if I could use their computer, and I got online and I had to Facebook my friend and tell her, hey, I'm at this hotel, come save me. Because we were staying at a house and I didn't know the address to the house to get back to the house. So I literally found a way within 24 hours, a drunk Brittany found a way to get in contact with my friend so I could get back to home, where I needed to go. So I just don't understand, in an era where there's social media and there's an internet, that you can't get on the internet or find someone that knows somebody, or you played on a soccer team, contact that soccer team. Every soccer page or professional athletic page or any page, even high school pages, have a team page. Go to the team page and be like, hey guys, this is Jerry. I'm lost. Somebody come save me. I don't understand how that happened. He had to have been a part of it too. And then, I think this was to get money. He probably got some money out of it too. And it's a whole big scandal thing. But I just want to end by saying Tupac is still alive, y'all.
That's what I said. Yeah, me and Britt out here. Yes. I said the same thing. I was if he comes back from the dead, Tupac, we ready.
Tupac's in Puerto Rico. Tupac is in Puerto Rico, y'all.
I'm not doing this 9 to 5 at the energy plant, but yes, Tupac is still alive. I love it.
Or Puerto Rico. Yep.
Yep. Yes. So, all right. That's all I got. So, Chris, are you ready? Warm up your vocal cords. You ready?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here we
Yep.
go, y'all, because now it's time for Brit's Takes.
Brit's takes.
All right, guys. So mine's going to be pretty quick today because it is a very special day. A couple weeks ago, we all got to watch the NFL draft happen. It was exciting. It was fun. It was the highest rated draft ever and watched ever in the history of the NFL draft. So they decided to, do some more NFL stuff. And tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, they will be releasing the NFL schedule in a 3-hour-long show on NFL Network. They're basically going to release the schedule kind of beginning and then spend 3 hours like breaking down all the matchups and stuff like that, which, okay, cool. NFL executive Jeff Posh, saying this about the whole thing: our planning, our expectation is fully directed at playing a full season starting on schedule and having a full regular season and a full set of playoffs. Am I certain? I'm not certain that I'll be here tomorrow, but I'm planning on it. So the schedule for the NFL season is going to be kicking off, I should say, on September 10th. That should mean if everything goes as it's supposed to go, the Super Bowl defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, will be hosting that Super Bowl. They'll most likely be playing the Patriots as they do every single year. Whoever played in the Super Bowl plays the first game of the season. For Thursday Night Football, obviously it's going to be a very different looking Patriots team. Big games that we could look to, see the matchups when they're coming. Obviously, Tampa Bay versus New Orleans, aka the Brady versus Breeze games. And these are going to be 2 times. We're going to have 2 games to see them this season. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. Something I want to mention about it is they should be looking, if they do stuff as smart as I am, if I was an NFL, schedule maker, I would do it this way. I don't know for sure. Obviously, we'll see tonight. But I feel like they will be doing it in a sense where they are going to have non-conference games scheduled first, because we all know you play each team that's in your personal division twice, and then you play 2 other conference or 2 other divisions, plus there's going to be several other games that you play that are just kind of like random games that they play every single year. And so I would expect that they would put the non-conference games at the beginning of the schedule, which will be a little bit different because usually my Cowboys play the Giants or the Eagles at the very beginning of the season. Usually it's the Giants for our first game, but I expect that not to happen this year just because I think in case it gets into where the season gets delayed a little bit, they can easily throw out the first couple games of the season and just continue on, because we all know it doesn't affect the playoffs really if you lose to non-conference games. The playoffs is strict off how you do in your specific division. So I would assume that they would push divisional games to a little bit later, maybe starting in October, and have the first 3 games of the season be non-conference games, which would be the smart thing to do. I don't know if they're going to do that, but we'll see. Thanksgiving Day game and obviously Monday Night Football games are going to be a big thing people are going to be looking at. And also, this is randomly, funny enough, the last 17-game season we should be likely to see, because obviously we know the new CBA said that as starting the next 2021 season, they're going to be pushing it to 1 more extra game during the regular season. So it'll be moving to 18, and then they'll have, which could include 2 bye weeks for teams instead of 1 bye week. And then obviously a playoff game as well. So this could be our last time ever seeing the 17-game season for teams. So hopefully we get the full season for that. My take on this kind of is just, I don't know if I'm excited about 3 hours to break down what's going to happen, but I want to commend the NFL for doing this because it has actually brought so much hope and light into my life right now. I have you can't see, but I have a Cowboys shirt on today. I'm excited for it, just because there's nothing else going on. And this is the first piece of normalcy that I've seen. I feel very confident right now that the NFL season is going to start because they're setting times, they're setting dates, they're putting stuff together. And if it's slightly delayed, I don't think it'll be affected if they do what I recommend, which is doing the non-conference games first. Jackie, I want to go to you first. What do you think of the NFL rolling out the red carpet basically for the release of the schedule? Do you think it's kind of weird to have a 3-hour segment that's just dedicated to the NFL schedule? Because usually it's just posted online and we kind of move on from there.
I think if we were business as usual, I'd be like, this is a terrible idea. Deep down in my heart, I still think it's a terrible idea. But if I'm being honest, I'll probably be watching, at least for the first hour. I can't say that I'll commit to, 3 hours.
Who knows? But you watched the entire draft. You might watch the whole 3 hours.
I did. And this is the first time I've ever watched an entire draft. Thanks for reminding me of that. But I love how they're milking the fact that they know diehard sports fans are literally having some sort of withdrawal right now, and they're just giving us something. So I respect that they know who we are as fans, and they're throwing this out there. And now it's like, it's one of those things where I'll probably know the Saints schedule like the back of my hand. So it's going to be fun in that aspect. But I always knew, you know what I mean? As soon as they posted, I just look and I'm like, okay, this is what I got. And then I plan my travel plans. But now that's the main reason I always look at the schedule when it's released, is because I like to travel. I like to go see my team play in different places. I don't even know if I can do that now, so I don't even know what this is going to mean to me. So
in the stands, possibly. So yeah,
right. So I'm kind of like, okay, I don't even know what this means right now, but I respect the NFL for giving us something that they know we need right now.
Chris, I have actually 2 questions for you. First one, most importantly, is are you looking forward to any of the matchups for this upcoming season that you're going to be like looking forward to watching it? Because I know you're going to be watching it, Chris. So any matchups you're looking forward to, whether it's a team on team or maybe some of these new draft guys that are going to be playing against each other, anything you could tell me about what you're looking for?
Well, yeah, because strictly with my team, obviously my division is already as fun as it's going to be. So like, I'm looking forward to seeing, the Buccaneers and stuff, but that's already set in stone. Personally, I was hoping to see the Saints play either the Rams or the Chargers out here this year because it's the first year. But of course, now with Rona out here running these streets, I don't think even if they do play them, I'm not going to be able to go to the game. But not talking about the Saints. Well, obviously because now I have to watch the whole 3-hour thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what a lot of these rookies are going to play. Like, I want to see who Miami's going to play because I'm going to be watching Tua a lot more. Same thing for the Bengals. So I'm curious to see these rookies matchups and seeing if they're going to be playing some of these experienced quarterbacks. So we're going to see if, we get that Drew Brees versus Joe Burrow, the two, what's it called? Louisiana guys, the New Orleans Saints versus LSU alum, blah, 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 blah. So I'm looking forward to seeing who these rookies are playing. I want to see who's going to beat up the Chiefs and see if the Chiefs have a Super Bowl hangover and see if they have a tough schedule this year. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at all those fun little inside battles. See who the Browns are going to play so Jackie can leave them alone if they have a nice week schedule.
That's the only way, if they have a weak schedule, that they will get to this 8-8. If they play anybody worth a damn, 7-9.
Well, and it will be great to see because Tua, who is with Miami, will be playing against Joe Burrow, who's with the Bengals. So a really good point you made there. That'll be a good matchup to see. My second question is, do you think the other leagues should have at least tried to set dates up? Because I felt like personally for NFL, it got me so much more excited. And I'm like happy now. I'm just like, sports is going to be here. It's going to be regular. Like, do you think they should have, instead of just leaving us hanging, like, well, we don't know, we're just going to, should they have tried to set dates? Or do you think because they were in some type of season already, they just had to like play it? Like, what do you think would have been the better bet, to just play it by ear, or like the NFL has been doing, like, nope, this is the date for it. We're not changing it unless last minute something happens.
Yeah. I think hindsight is 2020. I think obviously, now I think that it would have probably been really great if they did that. But like you said, probably in the heat of what was going on, that probably wasn't a thought in their brain. They're just trying to figure out, okay, well, we got to pause it now. When are we going to get them back? How are we going to get them back? What's next and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like thinking about it now and seeing how well this is most likely going to do, because I agree with you guys. I don't know if I will 3, but I'm gonna catch myself tonight still watching when it's the 3rd hour, and who knows what's gonna happen. So I can't say I'm not gonna see and watch all 3 hours. But because of that, I would have loved to see that for the NBA or even any other sport. But because they were one of the first sports to postpone the league and stuff like that, I can see why it wasn't a thought in their mind at the time.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for Brit's Takes. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for this. Because it's almost like we're kind of getting to watch like a preview of the season, because they're going to be doing all the matchups and what we can expect for them. So I'm really excited about that. But That's it. I'm excited. Tune in 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you, Britt. Okay, you guys, well, that wraps up our show today. As a reminder, tomorrow, make sure you walk those 2.23 miles, walk, run, jog, treadmill, whatever you want to do for Ahmad. Jackie had a great idea. I saw that you put it in the chat to post your mileage, whatever app you use to track how far you go, and tag the Fumble Sports so we can see what you're doing on Instagram. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment, share this video with your friends, wash your hands, and we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, guys.